We're approaching 36 years of The Legend of Zelda by now. That's a lot of time and a lot of games. If you've followed my channel at all, you'll know how much I like pointing out the intricacies in these games. No matter how many times you play them, there are still little things that can surprise you. So, like I've done before, let's run through some relatively obscure Zelda facts that you might not know. What colour is Saria's fairy in Ocarina of Time? Navi is blue, healing fairies are a reddish pink, but what colour is Saria's? Green? Yellow? Red? Purple? The answer is all of the above. The colour of Saria's fairy, along with the fairy companions of all of the other Kokiri, is random. Every time you load up the game, or even every time you leave and re-enter the area, the fairies belonging to the Kokiri are given one of a few randomly selected colours, which is a weird detail you probably wouldn't notice unless you were looking for it. Saria got her name from Saria town in Adventure of Link, just like the rest of Ocarina of Time sages. In the Japanese version of this game, the graveyard just outside of Saria town features a grave Link can read. It says, "The hero Luto rests here." Luto is the Japanese name for Erdrick, a hero from Square Enix's Dragon Quest series. Square Enix later responded with Final Fantasy, in which a grave reads, "Here lies Link." Impa, the Sage of Shadow, opened up Kakariko village during the Hyrulean Civil War, accepting Hylian refugees into the previously Sheikah settlement. Her house is the largest in the village, the one with the cow in the corner next to a piece of heart. In the original game, the design of the interior of the house is pretty simple, but the 3DS remaster adds some interesting new details, including little sketches of various activities throughout Link's adventure, like the hover boots, catching fairies, using the megaton hammer, throwing a bomb into the Goron vase, the tree to hookshot onto outside the forest temple, and using the mirror shield, among others. These drawings are found here right from the very beginning of the game, so I like to think Impa used the Sheikah's famous foresight to see the future of Link's quest, then only used this information to draw little cartoons. Ironically, for a game featuring the descendants of Tetra, Spirit Tracks actually features an interesting anti-piracy measure. The game begins with Link in Aboda village, who must make his way to the castle for his graduation ceremony. This is done via train. Alfonso lets you navigate your way to Hyrule Castle along the tracks, using the various controls on the touchscreen to do so. However, if the copy of Spirit Tracks is pirated, getting into the train is as far as Link is going to get. Instead of having the controls available on the bottom screen, you're given nothing. No way to control the train at all. Players who owned pirated copies of the game would just end up sat idly on the tracks, slowly being beaten to death by angry pigs. Telma is the owner of the bar that shelters the Resistance, a group dedicated to saving Hyrule from the Twilight. She owns a cat, Louise, who lives in and around the pub, famous for knowing all of the goings-on in Castletown. Louise helps Link, in his wolf form, a couple of times throughout the game, such as directing him to the sewers. But it seems that some point during development, Louise was planned to have a much larger role in the game's story. Concept artwork exists showing Louise on the shoulders of Darbus, the Goron chief who's transformed into a monster by the fused shadow. These two characters never interact in the final game, and it's a really strange pairing that I'd have loved to see play out in the story. Just like the Lynels, Breath of the Wild's Hinox are classic Zelda enemies that have been reimagined as titanic monsters. Hinox first appeared in A Link to the Past as cyclopean beasts that pelt Link with bombs. They're incredibly tough and deal massive damage, but a single hit from one of Link's bombs will defeat them. This connection with bombs is apparent with every iteration of the enemy throughout the series, except, it seems, Breath of the Wild, where the Hinox is essentially a giant bokoblin that attacks mainly by using its immediate environment. This is true for the blue and the red Hinoxes, but not the black ones. Blue and red Hinoxes will occasionally rip a boulder from the ground and throw it at Link, but the black ones will instead pull up bomb barrels to throw, a callback to their more explosive history. If you've played Breath of the Wild, then this sound effect will be familiar to you. It's the little jingle that plays when Link collects a new minor item, a sequence of 7 notes. Well, it's the very same set of notes that plays when Link obtains a new mask in Majora's Mask, which I mentioned in a previous Zelda Secrets video was the same tune as the item get sound effect from Adventure of Link. But this isn't all. This sound effect plays in 3 other games in the series, as far as I'm aware. It's used as the small item get theme in Ocarina of Time, as well as the rupee jingle, and is also used for rupees in Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. So the item jingle in Breath of the Wild actually has a lot of history. It's been used for various things all throughout the series since its first appearance in Adventure of Link. Let me know in the comments if there are any examples of it I missed. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like or subscribe if you haven't already for more Zelda content. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.